Good evening. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Plain Edge Board of Education on August 11th. The time is now 7:30. Please rise for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd now like to turn it over to Dr. Zublionis, Dr. Z, for the superintendent comments.
Thank you, President Morrissey. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. Excited for everything that's been happening this summer. We recently reached the end of our summer enrichment programs. I've been taking part at the middle school, and our ESY programs and other summer programs are winding down. I want to thank Dr. DiPaola and everybody for organizing these programs, the middle school for their hospitality, and of course, our students and our families for taking part in them and keeping them thriving. As many families know, the Earth Science Regents was a little challenging this year, and we've been in the process of communicating with other districts and families about that at the new exam that some of our students had to take. I want to thank Dr. DiPaola along with Mr. Kowalik and the middle school admin team for making review sessions possible that we offer to our students. And they'll be retaking the Regents exam on August 19th, next week, next Wednesday. So I want to thank everybody for coming together on that effort and addressing that situation. Our sports startup dates are here. I think everybody knows that registration final forms has been open now for over a week for both middle school and high school sports. And the official first day of school football starts on Monday, August 17th. Hard to believe it's here already. All other high school fall sports will start the following Monday, and middle school sports will start on the first day of school, September 1st. I'm pleased to engage with the community in what we're calling Coffee with Chris this Thursday and next Thursday at 9:30 a.m., 5 p.m. in this room, and hope folks will come out to engage in some conversation about the board's goals and work that we hope to do and to get input and feedback in those sessions. Very important for me and my work with the team at Central Office and the full leadership team and our board to get that feedback. So I'm excited for those sessions. I want to thank all of our clerical, maintenance, custodial, administrative, and faculty teams who've gotten us ready to the point of opening, and we're almost there. While many have been on summer break, the Plain Edge team members have been keeping the summer learning going while also making sure their students have everything they need to get going on September 1st to re-engage in learning. So that's 3 weeks from today. It's hard to believe. We'll welcome our students back to full-time learning. We have a lot of exciting events leading up to that day. We have our UPK orientations on Thursday, August 20th, our NTI, our New Teacher Institute, on Monday, August 24th and Tuesday, August 25th, our Sail into Kindergarten program on Wednesday, August 26th, and our freshman orientation on that same day. So we're excited for all of these events, and I want to thank the Central Office team and our leadership team for planning those events and staffing them. And finally, I just want to mention we are in the process of finalizing our full calendar booklet, which will be online shortly. And we're also working on a new and improved website that is going to connect to our communication system and to Parent Square. And so we'll be launching that probably at the end of September. So we'll be telling the community about that leading up to that, and certainly our board as well. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. I just completed the final forms for the first time in my time here in Plain Edge, and I'm pretty sure I signed away part of my liver. A lot of buttons to click, a lot of yeses and nos. So thank you for your comments. We have the student representatives' comments here on the agenda, but we will have our new student representative seated in September once the school year begins. Principal Ioko has identified the student following the policies that we set, and looking forward to welcoming them on the board. I think the rest of the board agrees with me that Leah was a very valuable voice and a very valuable presence on the board, and obviously wish her the best of luck at the University of Maryland. Moving on to routine approvals. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the July 1st, 2026 Reorganization Board of Education meeting? Mrs. Versace, do I have a second? Mr. Ponticello, all in favor?
6 in favor, motion passed.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the July 1st, 2026 Board of Education meeting? Mr. Beiruti, do I have a second? Mr. Ponticello, all in favor?
Six in favor, motion passed.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve warrant reports numbers 130, 133, 135, 137, 138, 139, 140, 141, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
So moved.
Mr. Monticello, second. Mr. Pascarella, all in favor?
Six in favor, motion passed.
Thank you. And finally, do I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report of May 2026? Mr. Bayruti, do I have a second? Mr. Monticello, all in favor?
Six in favor, motion passed.
Moving on to our discussions and presentations, we do have one item for discussion, and there are some slides that go along with this. The board is very happy and very proud to present our, at this point, still draft, but our Board of Education goals. These goals were the result of considerable effort, considerable time put in by the members of the board, and I thank them for their efforts. They came out of some of our professional development sessions with Dr. Rich Hawkins and Dr. Ken DeLuca, both very experienced administrators on Long Island, and represent, I think, the vision, mission, and goal that the board has for Plain Edge moving forward. So, throw up the slide. I'm not going to read everything on the slide. One thing that annoys me beyond almost anything else. You can see there, just we tried to target learning, fiscal, climate, communication, and governance, keeping the goals broad enough that they provide a direction to central administration, and then be able to turn it over to central administration for the actual implementation and developing that. What does that look like on a day-to-day and a hands in the dirt level? Anybody want to share any of their thoughts, comment on the goals? How we got here? Where they?
Yeah, it's been a long process because we really started this more than a year ago now, and the work that was put into it really, I think a few of us might have started with like, okay, this score should be at this percentage by this year. It was like, oh, hold on, like, you're getting a little into the weeds now. So this though was a lot of work, and I'm really excited to see it coming together.
Hoping these goals, the administration will develop measurable goals, I guess, from our big picture goals. So I think this gives you a clear direction as to where we all want to go.
The goal of the goal setting was to come out with goals. See how many times I can get it in. That you can work with, but that ultimately that it becomes a two-way communication of, all right, here's how we're going to implement it. Here's what we're going to track to show that it's being implemented or how well it's being implemented. And this is the data the reports we're going to provide you so you can make sure we're doing that job. And, that is our hope, is that going forward, we could have the information. Yes, this is where we did well. These are areas we continue to need to grow in. And that's okay. That's kind of the point. If you ever sit there and think, okay, we did everything we wanted to achieve, you probably set your goals like, I want to wake up and put my shoes on. That might have been as far as you got. So we want to see, there should be a little bit of a growth mindset with this, and I think there will be.
So I think the plan with this, as we discussed, in executive session and in our conversations around this, is that we're going to open this for input from the community. We're not going to formally adopt these goals tonight. We do want to hear feedback from the community on our draft goals. We would ask that they provide any of this feedback directly to me. My email address is now on the slide. I will then take the feedback, collate it, provide a report for the board. We do a little presentation in the September meeting, and then in September formally adopt the vision, mission, and the 5 strategic pillars that will guide our path.
I'll be very happy we can update the website then with board goals. Yes,
The new website.
The new website.
Update the new website.
New goals. It'd be beautiful.
I'm very excited to see.
Yes.
Wonderful. So moving on to our routine approvals, our consent agenda. There are a couple items that I do have to pull out here. Please bear with me. I have to go back to my student congress days from high school and try to remember my Robert's rules. And Noreen, please jump in and correct me if I get out of line here. So there are a couple items that have actual fiscal impact tied to them. Item number 1, which is confirmation of the tax levy, does have to be a roll call vote. Item number 63, which concerns the vote on changing, the referendum, on putting the referendum to change our transportation, since it has a fiscal impact, has to be voted on, should be voted on separately as well. And we're going to try to do should as well as must. I also know that there were a couple of members that wanted to discuss individual items. So I'd like to open up the floor right now for anyone who wants to discuss one of these items from the consent agenda.
Here, we break out item number 63, we can have a discussion prior to the vote?
You can have that discussion right now. That's what.
Okay.
64, I think we have to action.
We should action 64 as well. That's absolutely. Again, we can do should as well as
Why, if I could suggest, let's then
Well, let's start-
vote on the consent and then do the individual items.
So what I'm going to do is we'll open up for discussion. We'll vote on the consents. I'll pull those items out, and then we can vote on those items individually. We're not going to go through this one at a time. So, Mr. Pasquarelli, I think you had some comments you wanted to offer on item 63.
Yeah, item 63, so reading the proposition and the, when I read this, so the Transportation Committee, the Late Bus and Busing Committee recommended this. I'm just pulling up the.
Why don't I go ahead and read the item while you're.
Yeah, if you don't mind, yeah.
So item number 63 authorizes the submission of a transportation proposition to the qualified voters of the district. This was discussed in a presentation given by Mr. Garcia at our last meeting. The recommended action is that we submit this proposition, and I can read it right now. Whereas pursuant to section 3635 of the New York State Education Law, school districts may provide transportation for students residing less than the statutory mileage limits from the school they legally attend upon approval of the qualified voters of the district. And I'll skip to now. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Plain Edge School District calls a special district meeting of the qualified voters of the district to be held on August 6th from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. for the purpose of voting on the following proposition, which is that the board be authorized to provide home-to-school transportation for students in grades 9 through 12 who reside between 7/10 mile and 15 miles from the school they legally attend, in lieu of the current mileage requirement of between 1 1/2 mile and 15 miles, effective January 4th, 2027, with such transportation to be provided in accordance with New York State education law and district transportation policies, with the annual cost thereof to be included in the district's budget.
So I really feel that a proposition like this should be at our annual meeting in May, not during the fall. I understand there's kind of a rush to get it done before the winter season, but I feel like we're gonna have more participation by the public at the May meeting. So, and I really feel the hours 2 to 9 is too short, I think. So I wasn't happy when I read that. 2 to 9 was, I think, too short of it. It's only 7 hours, so not enough time for a proper vote, I believe.
So just kind of going over what was discussed last meeting and what had come up through the committee's work. I think central office, certainly at that time, would have loved to just put it on the May meeting. It certainly is easier, a little bit cheaper. But the committee was pretty strong in that once it was identified as a safety concern, having children walking down Hicksville Road in the winter with unshoveled, unplowed, sidewalks, that their feeling was kind of come hell or high water to get it done before the winter season. And when you looked at the calendar, we sort of decided, okay, that's going to be the January, I think it's 4th is when they come back from the winter break, the holiday break, so that's when it would be. When you look at, and I get it, because it's something that came up after the last board vote, budget vote, annual vote, like we didn't have a lot of voter participation. But you're talking about something that has no cost to the taxpayer. There's no expense to this. There is a small, I'll call it a small adjustment in state aid. It's not a secret. It was about $60,000. That's real money. But when you look at a budget of $111-ish million, it is a smaller percentage than most of the things we're voting on today without any voter input at all. Right? There's plenty of things in the warrant reports. I mean, if you look at the year end, there are just millions of dollars that we vote in a budget. The voters do have their chance every year to vote on a board and to vote on the budget. This ultimately will still have to land within our overall budget. I mean, it's a moving target always. But the benefit of getting the kids on buses before the winter season at virtually no cost at all, only in the aid formula, and not seeing some of what we saw last winter where, they didn't quite get curb to curb, and then the cars are a foot away from the snowbank. And is it Hickory? I don't know. I grew up here. I still can't remember all the street names, but certainly Wingate, the neighbors had a terrible time. The parents had a terrible time at the drop-offs. And that's why, to me, anything we can do, when you balance all of those challenges, which to me look like safety issues, look, we follow the law, and according to the law, everything's great. But like just looking at it, it doesn't look great. It's not a great thing. And this is a solution to make it better. And you can do that with virtually no real cost. I mean, just percentage-wise, it's less than most things. And to the point of the voter stuff, look, voters need to come out and vote. Like, that is their job. You're an American citizen. Your job is to do your duty, and that is to vote. And it's our job to make sure you know when it is. And certainly I'm not afraid of going wherever that voter engagement is to try to drum it up, but that is their responsibility. And as far as the 2 to 9, it's 1 hour longer than state required law. You could do as little as a 6-hour vote. We're going a little extra. I actually thought 9 p.m. might be too late. Let's get it done a little earlier, but it made sense. It would come at a cost to do it longer, but remember, it's not 2 to 9. People have the right to do absentee ballots. They can come into the district clerk's office. They can pick one up. You leave your name. You let them know you're voting. They just make sure that's the same. I don't know how it works actually, but like you have to go tell them you're doing it. You get the ballot, you do it. So you could vote for a month before the actual vote. So I strongly think we should put it forward. I think it makes sense as is. I totally hear what you're saying. I just wanted to give my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
I agree. I appreciate the concerns you're raising, Mr. Pasquarello, but I think one of the main reasons we took the decision we did was the safety issue, and for me that's what stands out most. And to have this in place for January, I think is the most pressing issue for me. So,
I'm sorry. I'd also like to add, Mr. Pasquarello, that I think it was 3 weeks after the January snowstorm. I had taken pictures of areas on Hicksville Road. And had uploaded it to a OneDrive on the school district to share with the study, the people who are conducting the traffic study. They're still there. And you can see, like, even 3 weeks after that snowstorm, and I went all the way up Hicksville Road from Wingate all basically down to the 135. You couldn't walk you couldn't walk Hicksville Road at all. That's 3 weeks after the snowstorm. And on top of that, what I would say is this is not a new concern. There was an issue my first year on the board where I think there was an error with the calculation or something happened where people who live in the East Plain area found out all of a sudden before school started that they lost bus services. And the concerns for 2 reasons. One, they weren't prepared for it because it was like 2 weeks before school opened. But the second one, and more importantly, is that, again, those parents were concerned that their kids have to traverse, Sutton State Parkway and or the 135 when it's still dark out. Like during the winter months, it's dark out there. It's like you don't, so, and then even in the afternoon, if you're a late, playing sports or whatever, it gets dark early. So those are concerns that I think are legitimate concerns that we need to address. And the last thing I want to do and have on our conscience is, especially in light of the cost, but actually not even especially in light of the cost, but like the fact that there's not even a factor that plays into it. Last thing you want is like an accident to happen or something to happen. And it's like, why didn't we move ahead with this sooner rather than later? There's no real good reason not to implement this policy or put it out to vote to the voters now. Why wait till May? Why would we do that, especially before the winter months? Like, I just don't see the rationale. If we're talking, if it's clearly a safety issue, we should take care of it today, not wait until May, because we think, it should just be part of the annual process. I think you need to, as board members, we should action that immediately. So that's just my thoughts on that.
So I agree. Anytime that we have an opportunity, the work is already done. So we know what it costs, we know what it looks like, we know how many children are impacted. I know that I wouldn't be able to live with myself if something happens to somebody and we had it all ready to go. The other thing I want to say is that if you've ever been at the high school early morning, it's a complete zoo. So this might really cut down on some of the traffic, and that impacts our neighbors who may not have children and try to leave for work too. It might be beneficial for our local neighbors too to cut down on the traffic in front of their homes. So
You guys all had growth. I think you guys all had great points. I agree with them all. I'm just feeling this long-standing policy that we've had, probably been around for decades. There's probably no, well, actually, it's the state minimums, right? The state.
It was the state.
The state, yeah. So,
Follow the state guidelines.
so I just feel like most people won't be expecting the vote. So I feel like, October 6th is kind of an odd time to have a
I can
vote.
say that,
And,
Mrs. Green,
Yes.
just inform me that the ad is with the attorneys. We expect that back tonight. It'll be put in the Mass People Post, and I think that there are at least a few members of the board that aren't afraid of social media, and we can promote it and get the get it out there.
You just call me a maniac. Okay, fair enough. Doug, if I could suggest, we'll keep it separate and we can vote how we think. And
So as I mentioned, we'll pull it out because it does have a fiscal impact. We'll pull it out for a separate vote. Let everybody have their vote and get on the record with where they stand. In addition to a couple of the other items. Are there any other
I know I thought we need to, but we don't.
Oh, okay.
any other items that anyone wanted to discuss?
I'm gonna ask us to table number 49, the 1500 policy 1500 use of district facilities draft. It still needs a little bit of time in the oven to finish cooking. We have to get some updated notes over to the lawyer, who will have to rewrite it. I think make some changes anyway. So I'm gonna ask that we table that until the September meeting.
Thank you, and I think that's a great example of collaborative approach with our local organizations. We reached out to everybody who uses our facilities for their input on this, and there were some excellent points, and I appreciate everyone that provided feedback on this. So we'll get those to the attorney. I know the policy committee is meeting this week, and they'll be able to discuss it in that and bring us back a potentially redrafted version.
I mean, we'll wait till it's done and voted on before we feel like we're ready to take a victory lap on it, but it's why you don't rush these things. It makes sense to engage with the different groups, give them a chance to say, this is why I think this is a mistake, and talk through where your feelings are, what they feel like they need or where it hurts them, and ultimately in the end come out with something that's better for Plainedge and better for kids. So I think it's going to be great, but let's wait till we get there to feel that way.
Absolutely. Do I have a motion to table item number 49?
So moved.
Mr. Garcia, is there a second? Mr. Pascarella, all in favor?
6 in favor, tabling number item 49.
Policy 1500.
Did we want to pull, did we want to discuss 64?
No, we're
No.
going to pull them for a separate vote.
Okay.
So item number 1 has to be voted on as a roll call vote. So I will read the resolution, and then our district clerk will call the roll, and we will all vote individually on this as required, because it does set the tax levy permanently in place for the year. And then at the request of Mr. Pascarella and Mr. Versace, we'll pull 63 and 64 for individual votes. There'll not be roll call votes, but there'll be individual votes because they do have financial impacts with their adoption. So for item number 1, why don't we do the consent agenda and then we'll do the Do I have a motion to accept items number 2 through 71 with the exception of item 49? Mr. Ponticello. And 63 and 64. Thank you. Mr. Ponticello.
Second?
Mr. Pascarella, second. All in favor?
6 in favor, motion passed.
Item number 1, the confirmation of the 2026-2027 tax levy for Nassau County. Be resolved that the following budget gross amount of the necessary claims and expenditures in Plain Edge Union Free School District number 18 in the town of Oyster Bay, school year 2026-2027, amounting to $111,191,968 for school purpose, $3,038,513 for library purpose, totaling $114,230,481, and the same is hereby accepted. And be it further resolved that the sum of $72,787,038 for school purpose, $2,948,463 for library purpose, totaling $75,735,501, being the remainder of budget adopted as above, and the amount which must be raised by taxation or the net amount for Plain Edge Union Free School District number 18 of the town of Oyster Bay, Nassau County, New York, for the year 2026-2027 be levied upon the taxable property of the said school district, and said property has been certified to by the assessor for the school year 2026-2027. Resolved that the district clerk of the school district is hereby authorized and directed pursuant to section 6:20.0 and amendments thereto of the Nassau County Administrative Code to file a certified copy of these resolutions with the Nassau County Legislature and the Department of Assessment, Mineola, New York, on or before August 17th, 2026. The questions of adoption of the foregoing resolution were duly put to a vote on roll call, which resulted as follows.
Ken Auer, absent. Joseph Rudy.
Yes.
Joseph Garcia.
Yes.
Michael Morrissey.
Yes.
Douglas Pascarella.
Yes.
Michael Ponticello.
Yes.
Kathleen Versace.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to accept item number 63? Mr. Rudy, second. Mrs. Versace. All in favor?
5 in favor.
All opposed? Any abstentions?
Ms. Ponticello abstained.
Pascal.
Pascarella, I'm sorry, Pascarella.
Do I have a motion to accept item number 64? Mr. Garcia, second. Mr. Rudy, all in favor?
6 in favor. Motion passed.
Thank you. And just to make sure that we're clear, item number 64 was a price increase for our security.
The armed guards.
The armed guards, if you want to discuss just a little bit of what resulted in this.
Excuse me?
Or was just for a brief description of why we're looking at this.
So the armed guard service was entitled to a CPI increase in their pricing, which they failed to identify in their renewal. They've been doing a really good job for us, and we decided to allow them to go back and resubmit.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So we want to make sure that we're open and transparent and clear with everybody what we're voting on and why. And obviously, the health and safety of our students is our highest priority. And I think that the armed guards are a welcome addition to the district. Thank you. Moving on to Pride in Plain Edge. This is an opportunity for board members to present an attendance, participation in school and or community events. I know it is August, but open to the board.
I'd like to just thank Mr. Ponticello for inviting me to the Brian Moore event. It was a great event. A lot of money was raised for the Detective Brian Moore Memorial Fund and all the good work they do. And I always appreciate the invite on over to you.
Yes, I second that. Mr. Ponticello, it was a wonderful event as always. A few of us were also able to attend the opening ceremony of the Detective Brian Moore Memorial Baseball Tournament. I know Dr. Z was able to attend another wonderful event in the community and honoring Brian's memory and inspiring our students every day. Great. Any new business items weren't added to the agenda? I don't know if we have any old business items. We discussed those already. Are there any questions on the informational reports? Great. And that should take us to the opportunity for public comment. Open the floor now for anyone who wishes to offer public comment. I ask that all comments are directed to the Board of Education President. Each speaker is limited to 2 minutes in total. and they are expected to use the microphone and clearly state their name. Tremendous turnout tonight. Thank you to everybody who came out on a warm August evening. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn? Mr. Monticello, a second. Mrs. Versace, all in favor?
6 in favor, motion passed. We go on.
Thank you.